What's up, 7 Mile Gang? Today I'm going to be telling you guys about how I used to fight a lot of people when I was younger and stuff. And I am at the spot where I'm going to do this switch wall ride at. It's going down today. This video probably won't be out that soon, but it's going down today, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm just letting y'all know. But another thing I wanted to say too is I'm pretty sure this is my 27th video. So I'm almost finished and I'm just going to get into the story now. When I was younger, I'm just gonna try to explain literally like where it all started. When I was younger, my brother and my uncle used to make me and my cousin fight all the time and stuff. And this was like when we were like very young, probably like 5 and 6. And I feel like this is where it kind of like all started. I even remember one time me and my cousin fought right in front of my grandma's house, and my cousin ended up biting my back. And like that is like probably the first memory I have of fighting somebody, I feel like. And I think that was like my first fight that I ever really remember like that. Like I was really young, I barely remember it, but I do remember my cousin, he bit my back so hard that his teeth marks were like left in my back. Man, that shit hurt so bad. I started crying and stuff, and like pretty much from that, I feel like my brother figured out that he can get into our heads and stuff and pretty much make us fight anybody. And he just like, as I grew up, he kind of just kept doing that with people around us and stuff. And I'm gonna explain a little bit more about that now. I remember my second fight too. I used to fight my brother too all the time. He was older than me and stuff, but we still used to fight and stuff. And I'm sure he was probably playing around with me, but I was serious, bro. I was like really trying to like take off his head and stuff. And I remember my second fight too. It was in this neighborhood that I told you guys about that had like the circle and stuff, and we used to race around the block and stuff like that neighborhood, same neighborhood and stuff. And I remember one day me and my brother were pedaling around, and this was before we moved into that house that I told you guys about and stuff. And before we moved into that house, we actually lived in another house in that same neighborhood, but this was like when I was like way beyond young and stuff. I was probably like 3 or 4, maybe 5 or something. And I remember though, we were pedaling around and we seen the person that I said was my next door neighbor in like one of my story times. His name was Michael. It was him and his little brother, and then there was a few other people that lived on the same block that I actually became cool with and stuff. But before we moved into that house right there, me and my brother would ride around the neighborhood and stuff. And then one day we were riding around the neighborhood and stuff, and we went to that block that I eventually moved to and stuff. And Michael was outside, and every time we would ride by, he would throw a can through my wheel of my bike. And me and my brother just like kept going around the block and stuff, and he kept doing it. And my brother told me to just beat his ass next time he does it. And we went around the block again and stuff, and I got off my bike and we started fighting and stuff, and I made Michael run inside. And like after that, it's crazy though, because like after that I ended up moving right next door to him, and then me and Michael actually became cool and stuff. And I just think that's a funny story. But me and Michael really used to fight all the time and stuff, like over like the dumbest things and stuff. And because of my brother too, just getting in on our heads and probably just wanting to see 2 little kids fight because he thought it was funny and stuff. And I remember one time, bro, me and Michael were fighting, and he hit me like straight in my eye, bro. Like when he hit me, bro, I seen like white. Like it just like, I felt like how it is in like when cartoons explain that like somebody's like knocked out and stuff and they see like birds and stuff. Like I really felt like that and stuff. And then after he did that, I hit him in his back, and my brother grabbed me. He told me not to hit him in his back because like supposedly you can get messed up from hitting somebody in their back. But I was young, bro. I probably didn't even hit hard enough to really mess up his back like that. But now I'm gonna get to a little bit more of how my brother it was really my brother that was making me fight all these people and stuff. And I'm just gonna explain a little bit more about that now. There was a whole bunch of little kids in my neighborhood when I was growing up and stuff, and my brother pretty much turned me into like a neighborhood bully, because whoever was like acting tough and stuff, my brother would like find out about it, and then we would end up fighting, and I would always beat everybody up and stuff. And then from that, they started calling me Lil Leroy. And for the people that don't know about Leroy, it's a person from a movie. He does like taekwondo or something like that, or martial arts or something like that. But that's where the nickname came up from. And I didn't know how to do none of that. I just knew how to throw hands because of my brother and stuff. And pretty much my brother would literally, like, he would just come out the blue, and he would be with his friends sometimes, and me and the kids on the block, we would be playing and stuff, and then my brother would just come up and just start like pretty much talking shit to us, like telling us like pretty much like, oh, you scared of him, or you won't hit him, bro. I like, let me see you hit him, let me see if you're really about that life and stuff like that. And then being a little kid, bro, it used to just get into our heads, and then we would bump, and I used to win and stuff, like out of like a lot of fights and stuff. And pretty much, I'm not saying I won every fight, because I did get beat up one time, bro, but this right here, this story that I'm about to tell you guys really shows you that my neighborhood was definitely like, you can tell by this story, like it was definitely some type of hood, like just by this story that I'm about to tell you guys. But the story that I wanted to tell you guys, it's a story about me getting beat up. And I didn't really like get beat up, like I didn't like get my shit folded in or nothing like that, but I just pretty much ran out of breath like while I was fighting, and I told the person like, let me catch my breath while we were fighting and stuff, and they took that as I lost the fight and shit. But I'm gonna explain everything now. There was this 13-year-old in the neighborhood, and I was only 7 at the time. And I remember my brother came up I was at my grandma's house, but my grandma lived in the same neighborhood, and me and my cousin were there, and he asked my cousin if he wanted to fight this person, which I don't know what my brother was doing, but out of nowhere, like he just came out the blue and fucking just came up to us and was like, hey, you guys want to fight somebody? And my cousin was like, no, I'm good. And I was like, I'm not scared of nobody, I'll fight anybody, bro. And like I was just like that type of kid. I never really been scared of nobody like that. And the kid was way older than me. Like I was looking at my nieces and stuff, and then I got a cousin that's like, he's a little bit older than them. And I was just really thinking, because I got like a niece that's like 8, and then I got a cousin that's like 15 right now, and it's just like there's just such a big difference, you know. Like even if the person was 13, it wasn't like that much of a difference. Like you don't really grow that much in that time, I feel like. And I feel like for like everything that happened, it was like, damn, bro, why'd you guys even let these 2 little kids fight? And the young one was definitely not old enough to be fighting a 13-year-old and shit. Like when you're 13, you start hitting puberty and shit. I was fucking still fucking in my mind, like dazed off and shit, like not even really there and stuff, like how kids are and stuff. And they still let me fight this kid. And I got beat up, but it wasn't bad or nothing. Like he just really didn't want to throw hands with me, and he just like, when we started fighting, he just locked up. He kept locking up on me, and then he started like pushing down into like right here and stuff. And I started running out of breath because of that, and then I couldn't breathe, but I was still fighting and shit. And then I told them like, yo, I need to catch my breath. And I remember like this guy's stepdad was like in the middle of the fight. He was like, yo, your little brother's getting his ass beat. And he really wasn't even hitting me like that. But as a little kid, I thought like I got like really beat up and shit. Like when I went home and stuff, I went and checked myself in the mirror, see if my face was like messed up and shit, and nothing, like, bro, there was no blood, no nothing. There was no bruises, no nothing. That's how you know, like, it was a lame fight. The kid really just, he was holding on to me. Like, that's all he really did. Like, I feel like if he would have like really squared up with me, I probably would have beat him up, is what I'm saying and shit. But that's not the only fight, bro. There was all types of fights that really went down in the whole neighborhood and stuff. And there was also this one little kid that I was really cool with, which I explained a little bit of him in one of my other videos, but I didn't explain this because I saved it for this video. And what he used to be on, around this time, the Hawk came out, and and for some reason, when my friend, his name was Christian, when he would fight people, he would say, "I'm turning into the Hawk," and he would start, like, his voice would get deeper, and he would start snapping and start beating people up. One time he beat my neighbor up and his little brother up at the same time and shit. And that same kid, bro, I don't remember how this happened, but he chased me and my neighbor down the street with a butter knife, and just a bunch of crazy stories, bro. And that same kid, bro, one time I was in my backyard. I didn't even know people were like outside playing and stuff, but my next door neighbor and then Christian were in their backyard, or my next door neighbor's backyard, and I heard them, like, they were fighting and shit. And then I hopped the fence and I tried to stop them from fighting and shit. And remember how I was telling you guys, Christian used to think that he was the Hawk and shit, and he used to like get real mad, and he would just like kind of flip out, which I'm pretty sure he had like anger problems and stuff. I used to have anger problems too when I was younger and shit. And bro, when I went to break up the fight, bro, after I broke it up, Christian picked up a brick and he threw it at me, but I weaved it. And like, bro, we were so young that, like, bro, if that brick would have hit me, I probably would have like really got messed up from it and stuff. And it's just crazy, bro. I just got like a whole bunch of crazy childhood stories. That's not the only fights that I've been in, bro. I've also been into fights older too and stuff. I also fought somebody when I was 18. It was like a grown-ass man, and I beat his ass like real bad, bro. Like, I felt bad after I beat him up, because like I was beating him up to the point where like he gave up fighting. Like, he told me to just stop, like, stop. And it was bad, bro. I was hitting him in like the back of the head and shit, and it was just really bad. But I was really just trying to explain my younger days fighting and stuff. There was just a whole bunch of crazy fights that I've been in and stuff. I seen a lot of people fight too. Like, I feel like back then, like how the violence is now with the shooting and stuff, it used to be like that, but with fighting. Like, people used to just be bumping, like older people, younger people. Maybe it was just the area I'm from, I don't know what it is, but bro, I seen people really get down, bro. Really get down in school, out of school, all that, bro. I really seen people get folded up too, like, for real. And I done been in some shit, bro, like really had to bump it out with people, like, for real. And I never really lost many fights, bro. I only really lost one fight. I never lost that one fight that I was telling you guys about when I was like 7 and the other kid was 13 and stuff. That was the only fight I ever lost, like, my whole life and stuff. With my brother, I've lost fights with my brother and stuff. My brother is way older than me though, but we used to put boxing gloves on and shit, and we used to really be bumping, bro. At one point, there was a whole bunch of people that would just come to a certain area in the neighborhood, and we would all throw on boxing gloves and just start bumping and shit, and like take turns bumping each other and shit. And then middle school days, bro, people would be slap boxing in the bathroom and shit, and slap boxing at the bus stop. Everybody used to really fight. I don't know what happened to that. Like, I feel like nowadays people are just like scared to throw hands, and they just want to shoot each other now over like the dumbest things ever, and that's lame. Like, I feel like if you really got a problem with somebody, you guys can really just bump it out, bro. It's way funner to just bump it out, you know what I'm saying? And you really let go of that stress that you had towards that person and stuff when you end up beating their ass, you know what I'm saying? It's not like when you shoot somebody. When you shoot somebody, you're just risking your whole life and risking going to jail for the rest of your life and risking messing up your whole life and stuff is just not really where it's at. And I would say just beat somebody's ass, even though you can get messed up from doing that if you beat somebody up really bad, but it's not as high as the risk as killing somebody. And they be killing each other over an argument nowadays and stuff. Like, I don't understand that. People need to chill out and just bump each other if it's really that serious, and then shake hands after it, you know what I'm saying? Be cool after that. That's some real man shit right there. When you go and shoot somebody, especially when you go and shoot them and they don't got no gun or nothing like that, and you shoot them in the back and then you run off, that's some whole shit, bro. Like, for real. That's not no manly shit, bro. Cause bro, if you really think about it, a little 9-year-old can do that to somebody. A little 9-year-old can shoot a gun and try to get away with a murder type deal. Like, if you really think about it and stuff. And that's why I say, like, that's just not really manly. Like, the only way you should really try to kill somebody like that is how I feel, is if somebody is really threatening to kill your life and they're trying to kill your life. Like, you know, they're trying to take your life. And that's how I feel about it. That's all I really had to say for this video. I just wanted to give you guys, like, a few little stories of the days when I used to fight people and stuff. Whatever you're mad about with somebody, you don't really have to go to that extent, you know what I'm saying? You could just let it go. It's not really that serious, and it's not worth it. It's not where it's at. But I feel like if you really gotta bump it out with somebody, bro, bump it out. Don't shoot them, bro. Like, it's not worth it. You're gonna be living in paranoia like the rest of your life because of what you did, if you make it to get away and stuff. And nowadays it's like damn near impossible to get away, because the damn cops will find out when's the last time you fucking farted and shit. And I'm just being real, bro. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's all I really had to say for this video though, 7 Mile Gang. Peace out.